growing up, I was a hockey player, so I was always interested in how to optimize my performance on the ice specifically, and that translated over into just wanting to learn as much as possible about different, diets and supplements and what could I do to take my performance to the next level. So midway through that, when I was in my teens, I was diagnosed with ADHD, and I was immediately put on various different types of medications, stimulant medications for that. And I really didn't know of any other option at the time. What role diet had, what role getting any blood work to look at nutrient deficiencies or anything like that. It was just, here's your diagnosis. And, within a 20-minute office visit, I was prescribed a stimulant medication. So after a while being on that, I ended up being on different stimulant medications for the next 6 or 7 years. And over that period of time, slowly but surely, I was, started to delve into reading books, listening to podcasts, just getting more information about other methods that might help my brain health, that might help my focus without necessarily being on a prescription medication, or hopefully to even lower the dose at least. And so I was playing college hockey at the time for the University of Maine, and I met a mentor, or who became a mentor of mine, Dr. Graves, who is a chiropractor. He was an acupuncturist, and he practiced functional medicine. And he was the first doctor who really opened my eyes to this whole world of functional medicine. And I come into his office, I remember, I was drinking a ton of Gatorade, just eating a lot of gluten, processed foods. And I'm thinking, oh man, I'm eating protein, I'm doing all this stuff right because I'm an athlete, I'm, carbing up. And he was just like, oh man, you are just, there's a lot of work to be done. And so we did the work together, and that really was kind of the inspiring time of my life where I started to develop an interest, instead of playing professional hockey, into actually helping people, because through working with him, I was able to actually come off of the ADHD medication entirely, and have been off of that completely for the last 10 plus years. I was experiencing a lot of GI issues, abdominal discomfort, bloating, gas, indigestion, and a lot of brain fog as well, that was somewhat mitigated from the use of the medications. However, there was a lot of side effects, like there was, very hyper focusing. There was, kind of an antisocial tendency, just getting too absorbed in the work, some anxiety as well with the stimulant medications. So for me, it was sort of a muddled mix of symptoms that were kind of being improved by the medication, but then also kind of getting worse on a like an under the surface way, if you will. So for me, it was my gut started to improve first, and I would say the brain fog, just being able to think clearer, that improved. And then over time, I was able to then titrate off of the medication, which was a bit of a process. It wasn't easy necessarily, but I did notice that there was a big improvement after I did neurofeedback as well. That was a big player a couple years down the road of doing all that intervention. That was really the cherry on top that really helped me out socially. I felt much more comfortable after doing neurofeedback. I was just much more, I would say, at ease, really.